Today, we're going to learn how to build a game and make Bill Gates jump over a chair. I'm going to go ahead and put a link in the Zoom chat to the tutorial that we'll be following for today. I'll also put a link to the construct editor in the Zoom chat. So if you'd like to follow along, feel free to. That is the link to the online tutorial, and this is the link to construct. For our viewers on Twitch, if you want to follow along, just go to editor.construct.net. So first of all, before we get started with making the game, let's watch this awesome video of Bill Gates jumping over a chair.
Is it true that you can leap over a chair from standing position?
It depends on the size of the chair. I'll cheat a little bit.
All right, so just like what Bill Gates did right there, today we're going to be building a game and we're going to make Bill Gates jump over a chair, just like he did in that video. So to get started, on editor.construct.net, go ahead and click the New Project button at the top right. Once you do that, pick out a name for your project. I'm going to choose Bill Gates jumping over chair. Go ahead and take a second to do this, and then leave all the other settings as the same as they are right now. All right, once you've come up with your project name, go ahead and hit Create button at the bottom down here. This will bring you to the main construct editor screen. Take a look at this dotted line over here, that's vertical and horizontal. The space inside this dotted link indicates this screen where our sprites and characters will be taking place. I see a question in the chat. Can you put the link? Yes, sure thing. Let me go in and put the link again in the chat. That is the link to construct. And this is the link to the tutorial if you'd like to see that as well. All right, so one of the very first things that we need to do when making a game is that we need to create our characters. Let's go ahead and create our Bill Gates character. To do this, I'm going to right-click anywhere within this dotted area, and then I'm going to click Insert New Object. Once I do that, I'm going to type sprite into the search bar, since that is the term that we use to describe a new character. I'll double click on that. And now you can see that my mouse has turned into a plus sign. As long as you're clicking anywhere inside this dotted line, go ahead and click there. And you'll see this paint screen pop up. This is where you can create your very own character. I'm going to pick a nice color. Let's say blue. And then I'm going to go ahead and draw a stick figure for Bill Gates. And we're going to give him a really nice, big, happy smile. All right, I'll give you a few seconds to draw your own character, and then we'll move on to the next step. I see a question in the chat. It doesn't let me draw. In order to start drawing, make sure you have one of the drawing tools selected on the left here. So I currently have the brush tool selected, but you can also use tools like the pencil, one of the lines, or the shapes. I see a question in the chat from Sophia. Can you repeat that step? Sure thing. Let me go ahead and restart this step. I'm going to go ahead and exit out this screen. Just repeat the step. I'm going to delete this character as well quickly. So to repeat the step, go ahead and right-click anywhere within the dotted line area. You'll see the option Insert New Object. Go ahead and click on that and type in Sprite, just like the soda, into the search bar. And see this little alien-looking icon? This is what we need to click on in order to create a new character. So go ahead and double-click on this. And you can see that my mouse has turned into a plus sign. Go ahead and click anywhere in the same area again. And then we pull up the paint screen again. I'm going to go ahead and redraw Bill Gates. How about this time we pick a nice shade of green? We're going to give him a nice, big, happy face. And we're going to give him his stick body. All right, so before we hit X here and save our new character, there's a very important step that we need to do. Do you see this box outline surrounding your character right now? We want to make sure that this box fits our new character nice and snug, because otherwise the box around our character is going to be too big and they're going to interact with the world in a size that's a little bit too big for themselves. So we're going to go ahead and go up to the top bar and click on this button right here. This is the crop button. And if you go in and click on it, it will automatically shrink that box to fit our character nice and snug. Once you do that, I'm going to go ahead and hit the X right over here. And we have our first character. All right, now what's next? Well, we should probably go and add a chair, right? So let's go ahead and walk through the same process as last time. I'm going to create a new sprite by right-clicking anywhere inside this object area. Click Insert New Object, type in Sprite, double-click here, and then click anywhere inside the space. And now that I have the paint screen drawn up again, I'm going to pick a different color this time. How about we go with a nice shade of pink, and then I'm going to draw a chair. All right, and I'll give everyone just a few seconds to draw a chair however they like. I see a quick comment in the chat. This is like Scratch. Yeah, definitely. This is very similar to Scratch. All right, once you've finished drawing your chair, I have another question in the chat. Do we have to draw the chair and Bill Gates, or can we draw something else? Yeah, great question. You don't have to draw the chair and Bill Gates. You can draw whatever characters you like. Just for this project, we'll be drawing Bill Gates and the chair. All right, so once you finish drawing your chair, don't forget to click the crop button at the top so that the box around it can fit the new character nice and snug. So I'm going to go ahead and click the button and the box automatically shrinks for me. Now I'm going to click the X up here and we now have our chair. There's one more thing that we need though before we can start actually coding our characters. We need a floor. Otherwise, our characters are just going to fall out of the world. So let's go and add one more character to our project. Again, right-click anywhere inside this area, and then click Insert New Object. Type in Sprite, double-click on that, and click again inside the area. All right, now I'm going to draw a floor. How about we make our floor blue? And I'm just going to draw a straight line using the line tool. All right, and once you finish that, again, don't forget to crop your character by pressing the button up here. All right, once you've done that, go ahead and hit X. And now you have a floor, a chair, and Bill Gates. I see a quick question in the chat. How do we get to the drawing thing? Yeah, great question. I can walk through that again for you. So first, right-click anywhere inside this area. Then click Insert New Object and type in Sprite into the search bar. Sprite is the term for a character. Then go ahead and double-click on Sprite, and you'll see that your mouse has turned into a plus sign. Go ahead and click anywhere inside the same area, and you'll see the paint screen pop up. All right. Now that we have all of our characters, and let me get rid of this extra character that I just made. Let's go in and set this up a little bit more. I'm going to click on my floor and stretch it out just a little bit so that it covers the entirety of the area, all the way up to the dotted line. And then I'm also going to shrink Bill Gates a little bit. He's a little bit too tall. And I'm also going to shrink this chair. Otherwise, there's no way Bill Gates can jump over a chair this big. And I'm going to make that just a little bigger. Perfect. All right, so now let's try running our game. To run your game, click on the plus sign at the top right here. You might need to enable pop-ups on your browser. So if it asks you to do so, go ahead and click yes for pop-ups. All right, when I click the play button, I see my characters on the screen. But if I try doing anything with my arrow keys or the space bar, I can't do anything. So now let's actually write the code to create our game. The first step is that we want to be able to control Bill Gates with the arrow keys, right? So to do that, I'm going to click on Bill Gates, and then I'm going to look at the left sidebar over here. This is where we can control the different attributes and properties of our characters. In this case, I want to be able to control Bill Gates with the arrow keys. So I'm going to click Edit Behaviors. Once I click that, I'm going to click Add New Behavior. And then I'm going to type in something called Platform. What this will do is that now I will be able to control Bill Gates with my arrow keys. All right, now let's try running the game again. Uh-oh, where did Bill Gates go? He just fell right out of the floor. That's not good, right? If I try pressing the arrow keys, he might be moving, I'm not sure, but he just fell out of the world. That's not good. So what do we need to do? Well, we probably should make the floor solid. So in order to do that, click on the floor at the bottom, and then click Edit Behaviors in the left sidebar. I have a quick question in the chat. Can you repeat how you viewed the output? Yeah, sure. If you're talking about how to see the game as a demo, just go ahead and click the play button at the top right here. So just to walk through it one more time, if I click preview right now, I'll see Bill Gates just drop out of the world. I see another comment in the chat. When I do so, it becomes blank. Got it. Okay, I'm not sure why it's going blank for you at the moment. Are you sure that you've created your characters inside this dotted area? Got it. Okay. So if you do have characters inside the dotted area and the screen is still blank, that might be a browser issue. If you stick around at the end of this workshop, I'll be more than happy to take a look at your code and try to debug it with you. All right, so let's go and make the floor solid. To do that, click on the floor and then click Edit Behaviors. Once you do that, click Add New Behavior. And this time we want to make sure that the floor is solid. So I'm going to go ahead and click that and hit Add. Now I'm going to do the same for both Bill Gates and the chair, right? Because we don't want Bill Gates to be a ghost floating throughout the world. So I'm going to click on Bill Gates next. I'm going to scroll down and click Edit Behaviors. And now I'm going to click Add New Behavior. Double click on Solid. And now Bill Gates is no longer a ghost. I'm going to do this one more time, this time with the chair. Go ahead and click on Edit Behaviors. And once you got that, click Add New Behavior and double click Solid. All right, now let's see what happens when I click play and I try playing the game. All right, I have a great thing right now. Bill Gates is no longer falling through the floor. Now let's try using the arrow keys to control him. Oh, I walked over the edge. Let's try again. All right, I can use the left, right, and up keys to control Bill Gates. So if I go and jump over this chair, that was pretty easy. And if I try running into the chair, I can't walk through it. I see a comment in the chat quickly. I did the same thing by click and jump through on the floor. Yep, that should also work too. All right, so right now we have a really basic game created where I can just jump over this chair over and over again. And if I try running through it, it will stop me. Let's add a little bit more difficulty to this though. So I'm going to go ahead and X out of here. Now let's add a feature where if Bill Gates touches the chair, he has to restart from the beginning. In order to do this, we're going to use something called the events sheet. If you take a look at the tab up at the top, go ahead and click on Event Sheet 1. I see a quick question in chat, how to get to the drawing/code site. I'm not exactly sure what you're asking about, but if you're talking about the paint section, you just have to go back to the layout and go through the steps of adding a new sprite. So that will be insert new object, type in sprite, double click on that. Oh, okay, the tab. Got it. If you're talking about this layout right here with all of your characters, that is called layout 1. So go and click on that tab at the very top. Yeah, sure, I could put a link in the chat. So let me go ahead and drop this link in the chat again. And then for anyone that needs it, it is just editor.construct.net. Yep, no problem. Okay, let's get started with getting Bill Gates to reset the game if he touches the chair. Go ahead and click on the event sheet at the top here. You'll see a screen that looks like this. We're going to go ahead and add a new event. So click on Add Event at the top here. And then we're going to have to pick an object to create a condition from. In this case, I want to make it so that when Bill Gates touches the chair, I want to do something. So I'm going to select Bill Gates. And then I'm going to look for the option that says on collision with another object. Go ahead and select that. Hit next. And then we need to select the object that we're testing to see if Bill Gates is colliding with. In our case, we want to see if Bill Gates is colliding with the chair. So I'm going to go ahead and select my chair right here. And then I'm going to click Done. All right, I'm going to pause here for a quick second, just so that everyone can catch up quickly and then ask any questions if you might have some so far. We have a quick question in the chat, how to add a person. Yeah, great question. So I'm going to quickly switch back to the layout tab at the top here. And then to add a new character, go ahead and right click anywhere inside the dotted line. And once you right click, you should see an option that says insert new object. Click on that. And then we want to add a sprite, since that is the term for a character. So go and type in sprite in the search bar. Double click on sprite. And you'll see that your mouse is turning to this plus sign. Go ahead and click anywhere inside this dotted area. And you'll see the paint editor open up. This is where you can create your person, chair, or any other character. I see a quick comment in the chat. It's not working. Got it, Sarah. No worries. How about at the end of the workshop, stick around if you can, and then I'll make sure to walk through your code with you to see how we can fix that. Awesome. Any other questions before we move on? All right, let's continue. I'm going to go back to the event sheet where we left off. And we already have this condition here. So if Bill Gates is colliding with the chair, we want to do something. Now we need to tell our code what to do if this happens. So I'm going to click Add Action. And this time I need to select either the character or the system to determine what I want to do. In this case, I'm going to select the system since I want the game to restart. I'm going to double click on that. And then I'm going to type in restart. And then you can see right here the option restart layout. This option will allow us to reset the entire scene and start the game from the beginning. So I'm going to go ahead and hit next here and add that to our event. Now, if Bill Gates collides with the chair, the system will restart the game. I'm going to pause here for a quick second, and then we'll demo this in our game. I see a question in the Q&A section. How do we add actions? Yeah, great question. So first of all, make sure you're in the Event Sheet tab at the top here. Then afterwards, double check to make sure you have an event. It should look something like this right here. If you don't see an event, go ahead and click Add Event, add the event, and then add an action. If you already have an event though, then just click the Add Action button right here. All right, let's try out this game now. So I'm going to go back to the layout and click the play button. And now I can jump over the chair still. But if I go back and just run headfirst into the chair, I see that Bill Gates goes back to his starting position. Awesome. So that's a quick demo of how you can use events and actions to create different conditions with your game. Now I'm going to walk through just some of the other cool features that Construct has. Let's go ahead and try something else. Let's move this chair over here, and let's make it a little bit bigger. So that's almost as tall as Bill Gates. So if I go ahead and play this now, and I try jumping over it, there's just no way. Oh, actually, maybe you can jump over it. Let me see. Can I? Oh, I actually can jump over it. Wow, look at that. Let me go back and make this chair a little bit bigger. All right, and now if I try jumping over the chair, there is no way Bill Gates can jump over this chair. So how can we fix this? Well, if I click on Bill Gates and I go to the behavior section, remember that platform behavior that we added so that we can control Bill Gates with the arrow keys? Well, there's a super cool option down here called double jump with a checkbox. Right now, the box is not checked, but if I go in and click there and check the box, and now I try playing the game, when I press the up key twice, I can double jump over the chair. This is just a really quick example of how once you add a behavior, you can go into the left sidebar and change some of the numbers and values of the behavior so that you can customize your game. All right, I'm going to now stop here and open the floor for any questions. And then if there are no questions, I'll make sure to stick around and help some of the people that have some issues with their games. We have a quick question in the chat. Where do we find the behaviors? Great question. So click on the event sheet at the top right here. Oh, sorry, my bad. You were talking about behaviors. So go ahead and click on any one of your characters. And then look at the left sidebar over here. Then scroll down and find the Edit Behaviors button. And then click Add New Behavior. There's a whole bunch of behaviors here. So for example, there's the bullet behavior, platform behavior, which we used, and many more. In fact, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and add another one since we're here already. Let's try out this scroll to behavior. What this will do is that our camera will automatically move with Bill Gates so that he's always in the middle of our screen. I'm going to click Add. And now I have a new behavior with Bill Gates. If I X out of here and press play, now when I move Bill Gates around the screen moves with us. I see another question in the chat. Is there a triple or more jump? Yeah, that's a great question. I don't think there's a triple jump by default. However, you could definitely add behaviors or events and customize them so that you could create your own triple jump or even quadruple jump. All right, any other questions? Quick comment in the chat. Show again how to get to behaviors from the sidebar. Yeah, sure thing. So in order to add a behavior, go ahead and click on any of the characters on your screen. Since we already did Bill Gates, I'm going to go ahead and click on the chair this time. Then find the Edit Behaviors button on the left sidebar of your screen. It's right here on my screen over here, so I'm going to go ahead and click that. And then you'll see the list of behaviors that you already have. Then you can go ahead and click Add New Behavior. You can choose from any of the behaviors on your screen. All right, I see two questions in the chat that are kind of similar. Which behavior is needed to make the character object run? And how do you make your character move again? So in order to do that, go click on your character, click Edit Behaviors, and you want to make sure you have the platform behavior. This is what allows you to control your character with the arrow keys. If you don't have this behavior already, just click Add New Behavior and either scroll down or type into the search bar platform. In this case, it is right here. All right, any other questions? We have a question in the chat. How advanced is this engine? Construct is pretty advanced. You can basically do almost anything that a traditional game might include with Construct. The trick is basically just to go through the behaviors tab, the events sheet, and other properties to see what you can use to customize your game. We have another question in the chat. Jump through behavior makes the character jump, right? That is a great question. We can actually try this out. So if I go to Bill Gates and I scroll down, hit edit behaviors, add new behavior, and I'm looking for jump through, I think. Let's see if I can find the jump through behavior here. Oh, right here. Great. If I add that and let me run this now, let me see if anything has changed. Doesn't seem like anything has changed, though I do remember someone in the chat mentioned earlier that you could use the jump through behavior instead of the solid behavior so that he doesn't fall through the floor. However, if you want to make your character jump, that behavior is the platform behavior.
Yeah, the jump through behavior is like solid, but you can jump through the bottom of it. So it's like those platforms in some games where you can, you can't like go, once you're on them, you can still stand on them, but you can still jump through them from the bottom.
Ah, got it. Thanks. All right, any other questions? One last question in the chat here, how to get the screen scroll? Yeah, great question. So this is another behavior that you can add to one of your characters. In this case, I added it to Bill Gates. So go ahead and click on him and then click edit behaviors and check to see if you have the scroll to behavior added. If not, just click add new behavior and find it on the list there. It should be located right about here. And just to read aloud something that's being said in the chat right now, everything on Construct should be free. You shouldn't have to pay for any features, but if you do need to use a paid feature, let one of us know on the Code Day staff team, and we can get you a free code to unlock some of the paid features. All right, last call for any questions. All right, great. Well, if not, thank you so much to everyone for showing up to this Intro to Construct workshop. I can't wait to see what you use Construct to make at Code Day during this weekend. If you have any questions about Construct, feel free to shoot me a message on Discord. My username is cliu13. I'm also at the very top of the sidebar to the right, so just click on my name and you can shoot me a message. For anyone that had any issues with their game during this workshop, feel free to stick around at the end here. I'll make sure to stick around for a few minutes so that I can help out with your code. Otherwise, again, thank you so much for attending this workshop, and I hope you all have a good night.